Hi, I'm Bob. I've been totally blind since birth, and I'm into Star Wars. This is going to be one of those Star Wars holiday related vids. Now, I don't have anything to show today, but I wanted to talk about for a few brief minutes what it was like bringing the Star Wars trilogy home on VHS in a box set and watching them all back to back for the first time one mid November weekend prior to Thanksgiving in 1996. So I'd seen Empire and I had seen Jedi on one of our basic channels a few years before, but in 1996, Star Wars was impossible to ignore. I think it was partially due to this little multimedia project some of you may remember called Shadows of the Empire that dropped a few months before this particular November weekend. And when I was at school watching Channel 1 News, this little news program that kids at quite a few schools throughout the nation would watch every day, it was also peppered with commercials, and they kept showing that Shadows of the Empire video game commercial in which Dash Rendar keeps saying that I've got the ultimate fighting machine. I've got the ultimate fighting machine over and over and over. And I also remember seeing that one last time promo with Jim Cummings, who now voices Hondo Ohnaka in Rebels and Clone Wars, with him narrating it. I don't remember if I saw this VHS trailer on one of the cable networks, if it was edited down. I almost feel like it was, so Star Wars VHS tapes could be sold. I don't remember if I saw it on another 20th Century Fox VHS tape I might have owned, but that was what got me eyeing the original trilogy box set to begin with. Those of you VHS tape history buffs, or you movie trailer history buffs, comment below if you know anything about this trailer being shown on TV. I feel like it was, but I could be wrong. But yeah, that's what got me wanting the box set, because I felt like it was the one last time I would be able to get it. So we were in a Suncoast video one Saturday. I'd say a week or two before Thanksgiving. I had my cousin Heather with me. I had some close friends of our family with us, and I had my mom there as well. And somebody called out the original trilogy box set. So my mom picks it up unbeknownst to me, because my mom, well, she did her Christmas shopping with me right there as I was in the store, because why wouldn't you? You got a totally blind kid with you. I mean, why not get all your Christmas shopping done in one or two trips every weekend? You know, don't go out again and again and again by yourself if you don't have to. Just, sneak things past your kid. I don't think that's sneaky. I don't think that's underhanded. I think that's very clever, and I applaud my mom for doing that. That's awesome. Very, very puckish and very, very holiday themed, I would say. So yeah, way to go, parents who do this. It is not underhanded. I think it's awesome to pull a Han Solo and smuggle Christmas gifts into carts, especially if they're Star Wars and if you're totally blind kids like Star Wars. So awesome. Anyway, the beans were spilled, though. Someone accidentally let slip that she had the original trilogy. Oh, I love those movies. That's awesome. And of course, we all had a good laugh over it. And they were spending the weekend with mom and me anyway. So when we all got home, we opened the original trilogy and we watched the movies back to back. So it would be the first time I would see A New Hope. So I got a lot of questions answered, and I learned more about Obi-Wan Kenobi, who he was in life. I learned a bit more about Darth Vader. It was the first time I heard the word the Clone Wars, so that really piqued my interest. And this trilogy was, as I lovingly refer to it to this day, it was the Leonard Maltin edition. So you got interviews with George Lucas and Leonard Maltin at the beginning of each film, and it was a treat to listen to George talk about his baby, as it were, to talk about, how he came up with this idea and that idea, and what he wanted this to look like, what he wanted that to look like. And when we got to Return of the Jedi, I felt like I had the rug pulled out from under me, because I found out we were going to get prequels, that took place before the original trilogy. And yeah, I like those too, but more on those in another video. It was awesome to experience these movies with my family and my close friends. It was awesome to have folks taking the time to describe what was going on, because this was back when there was really no way to incorporate descriptive audio tracks into movies. At least I had no idea if they existed or not at this point. I don't think they did for Star Wars anyway. It was the first weekend in which I think my Star Wars fandom was solidified, and I discovered that there were books beyond the movies. After we got the original trilogy, we were in a Walden Books, and people were reading the backs of book covers. So I learned about a world beyond the 3 films. And I'm sorry, but be it 3 films or 9 films, that's just not enough for me. I wanted more content, and it was awesome to get hooked on that franchise that particular weekend. There was just something about being home with the people closest to you and having a good time and watching those movies that, I mean, I'll always associate them with the holidays, especially now that we get shows around Christmas time and movies around Christmas time. I mean, it's also something that my family would occasionally watch, various Thanksgiving breaks. It has cemented itself into various holiday traditions. It's just right there with Christmas and Thanksgiving. It's always been something that I feel people could bond over. I think Star Wars is a franchise that brings people together. And now, I mean, it has evolved into this big buffet of content. I mean, if you don't like something from table 1, then, here's a story about a Mandalorian and a baby over here at table 2. If you don't want that, then here are stories about Sith at table 3. If you don't want that, here are stories about Rebels, an animated series about that at table 4. Here are Clone Wars stories at table 5. There's bound to be something that you want to sink your teeth into in this juggernaut of a franchise. And I've really enjoyed hearing stories about folks who've made lifelong friends because of Star Wars. It's always been a great icebreaker. It's cool to share stories of where you were when you discovered this, or where you were when you were watching that scene in Empire Strikes Back for the first time. I've always felt like this is a franchise that is capable of bringing people together, and it has definitely cemented lifelong friendships. That's what I choose to look at whenever I look at Star Wars. So I guess we'll call this a video. I don't want to turn this into an hour-long spiel. I think next time I'll talk about seeing the episode 1 teaser trailer for the first time just before Thanksgiving in 1999, while we're on the subject of Star Wars and the holidays. So be here for that. And thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and all that good YouTube stuff. And I will hear you next time.